I believe in you.
The red light's coming on.
In 3, 2.
So, Jim, the Torch would report in early March that the deal with Goldberg and the company was close, but the holdup was dates. He would continue. WWE strongly believes it's imperative for Goldberg to work a semi-full-time schedule in order for them to build his character properly and to avoid resentment from other wrestlers in WWE. Because of the stalemate, WWE is planning WrestleMania without Goldberg. Sources say he remains so bitter toward the industry due to his experiences with WCW that he just doesn't have an open mind to possibly actually enjoying himself in WWE. McMahon just wants Goldberg in the door on a semi full-time basis and believes there's a good chance he will then see how different life is in WWE and enjoy his stay. Goldberg isn't a wrestling fan and interested only in it for the money and fame right now, according to just about everyone who's interacted with him. There is a strong concern by WWE management that if they brought in Goldberg for the low number of dates he's demanding, it would create a lot of unrest amongst the other wrestlers. So let's sort of break that down piece by piece. I mean,
Let's do Conrad. Let's do a deep dive.
Let's do
a deep dive.
Yeah, let's do it.
Abdullah the Butcher, aka Dave Silva's listening. He'll either approve it or not. It may make error.
Let's see what happens. The cash of the creative is what you always say it's about. Of course, a big piece of that cash is the number of dates. I guess that's logical. But you probably do have to keep in mind, hey, if we do this, we're kind of setting a precedent. That's not something you were ready to do. That, hey, we'll just bring guys in on a part-time basis, right?
Well, Vince was reluctant to break the mold, shall we say. And I thought I had a good argument as regarding the dates because I was working with Barry Bloom, the agent, who I've mentioned here before is my agent now. It has been for quite some time. And he couldn't disagree with my concept. You know, the object is to get Goldberg over. To get him over, he has to have consistent television exposure.
Yes.
Does that mean every week? Does it mean 2 segments a week? Is it every other week? I don't know the exact answer, and neither does he or anybody else because it's a matter of what's going to click. But every contract that I remember negotiating had that dialogue in it. That meaning pronoun boy. That meant I entertain myself sometimes. I'm laughing inside right now. Anyway, I don't know where I was now. Where was I, Connie?
Well, you're saying we need him to get over, and we're going to have him there consistently. He's going to have to make TVs.
Yeah, and the other aspect about alienating the locker room was also an element of reality. You didn't want to bring him in because everybody knows that if he comes in, he's going to be making big money.
Right.
More than likely, much more than they. So I think it was a good argument. I thought we're an argument that we could win. It just made sense. I'm not so sure he got what he wanted, and I'm not so sure that we got what we wanted. But I think in the business world, it's called compromise.
Yes.
So I think we got to a compromising point and closed the deal.
Do you remember having conversations with him and getting the vibe that he really didn't enjoy his time in WCW? Was he very bitter towards the business, or was that not apparent in conversation?
No, pardon me. Yeah, it was apparent. I think he didn't enjoy his stay there by and large. And if we just fall back on the old argument, yeah, but he made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Look, the older I get, the less I'm believing in that axiom. I just, it's not all about the money. And I said many times when people say it's not about the money, it's all about the money.
Right.
So we were close to making his dreams come true, so to speak, on the money. But we got to have you around enough to get you over so we can maximize our investment in you, and you can make more money. So we were like, what, like we're putting him on salary, and you got to work every TV, or you're going to go on the road to do house shows. That the elimination of talents that are getting major television time, not working live events, it should be a concern. I'm sure that it is today for WWE. They got a lot of great talent. They can't book them all. I don't know if they're running more than one house show a day or if they're or what. I really don't keep up with it. Not saying that to be, argumentative or defensive, but you gotta if you're gonna try to monetize house show business, then I think it's a crucial thing. It adds to your cash flow and it creates opportunities for the talents can make more money than they're guaranteed, which is a great thing. I believe, I don't know this to be a fact. Now, this will be one of the headlines that people steal from us, Connie, but I believe in 2023 that AEW will be in the house show live event / live event business uh, to some degree. I don't know what that means. So some of us, well, does that mean every other week, every week? I don't know. I don't know. I just think that it's an opportunity that can be capitalized upon if AEW is strategic in their planning. I think that's what Jeff Jarrett's working on. So good thing for Jeff. He's got Raphael Morphy to help him, and
Yes.
Raphael's the best. So probably one of the unsung MVPs of the entire company. To be honest with you. So anyway, that's my take on that, Connie.
Tell me about Kurt Henning's wake in Minnesota. It makes the newsletters at the time that Goldberg and Vince actually talked there, and that's actually what gets the ball rolling in new talks. And that's something that I don't think is a detail that a lot of people even know about. Do you remember there being business discussed or just a reconnection when everybody came together for Kurt?
I think a reconnection is a good term. I think that's a good term, Connie. I think it adequately describes it. I didn't attend that wake, and not for any personal reason. Something, whatever it was. Somebody's got to stay back at the house and answer the phone, I guess. And I like Kurt. He was funny as hell. He never grew up. And what a talent! Golly, what a talent! And I had fun working broadcasting with him. He was very good. He learned a lot from Heenan because he grew up watching Heenan in the AWA. So there are little bitty elements of Bobby Heenan in Kurt Henning's game of announcing. But that's a funeral, wake, whatever, is much like a wedding, in as much as that you kind of lower your guard and you get out behind the curtain, step out, and share what you feel. Maybe it's happiness, maybe it's whatever. But in this case, of course, they're grieving. So I don't remember all the imaginations of the conversation, Connie, but I do remember that conversations were held, and that I think that what that did, at least in my view, it showed Goldberg just how badly Vince wanted him on the team.
Right. Do you remember there being any pushback from other folks on the roster, people who have, their own opinion of Goldberg, or maybe they didn't have the best experience with him? I mean, we've heard before when it came time to talk about the NWO joining the organization that there maybe was some hesitation about bringing Hulk Hogan back or having Kevin Nash and Scott Hall back in the locker room and that sort of thing. Does that exist for Goldberg as best as you can remember?
Probably not as much volume, because talking about the NWO guys, there are three of them. So it's whatever angst you have times three. Goldberg was a single entity, not known to be overly social, but a good guy to shoot the breeze with. And, he likes sports and cars and, just the guy stuff. But he wasn't a student of the game or a fan of the business. And I don't look at that as 100%. Well, damn him. He doesn't love the business like a lot of us. Look, it's all about how much money you can make. The living, it's a job. And so all Goldberg wanted to do is maximize his opportunities, maximize his minutes. And we wanted to do that and pay him as much as we could afford to pay him based on our availability to use him. And he finally got that point.